Hi Rich.
Hi Craig. So we're back, part 3 of your Aston Martin V8 project. In a very cold Dynotorque. We can see your breath.
The heating is on now, so
yeah, he is making money. So we're back.
Yeah, this is now it's the last one we've done. We've done basically the mounting, gearbox is in. I'll quickly show you the gearbox.
So yeah, in the last video you had this cut down.
Yep.
But you hadn't
done the shortening. Pops back from Dave Max. Basically what I did, I cut the prop, redid it on the lathe, pressed that back in, and then these are the original balance weights off the where they went originally on there. They're just like a little weight that screws and taps and bonds onto the original weights. That's rather welded like a little spot on there. They're bonded on and bolted. But that's the original Corvette prop, which runs inside the torque tube, and then it has on the end it has like a rubber donut drive either end. That drives like to the gearbox and from the gearbox out. So that's done. Gear lever is mounted originally on the Aston. It was a gear cable bolted to the car with cables down
ran all the way down,
down to the back of the gearbox. This is actually direct. That goes from there through into there and then through onto the front of the gearbox. So that gear lever, this little box converts this movement into that movement there.
Did you make that yourself? No,
this is a Corvette part, but normally it's really offset on the side of the tubing. So I've moved it, made some little billet blocks, made some spaces here so I can make the height adjustable, just so I can get the height just right in the car. It's actually about right on first guess, but if I need to tweak it, I can. So that then means original Corvette gear linkage slightly shortened, but so original gear linkage, gear knob which has got the correct weight shaft, all the correct joints and bushings.
Do you not want to get a Driftworks heavyweight gear knob? 580 grams available on the Driftworks shop.
Probably not.
Why?
We'll see. We'll have a look.
It'll look nice.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe a nice blue one.
We had a guy in yesterday that bought the original wheels off this. It got the original Aston gear knob, an upgrade, 1,800 quid for a gear knob.
You can buy a wonderful Volvo V50 2-litre diesel for less than that.
It's ridiculous, like for a gear knob, crazy. So that's that done. So torque tube's done, gearbox side of it is in theory all done. Gearbox mounts, I showed them last time.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
So basically,
so last time we saw this, the engine was in situ.
Yeah.
And you had everything mounted up.
Look on this, if you look here, where it bolts in here, there's a bolt in, the subframe bolts in front, so you just drop the whole lot out. It's really nice, it's got like a drop out joint on the steering, so it just all comes out.
So it is designed for Aston to
come in out,
okay.
But so the wiring originally comes with all this, and it's all around the back of the engine, and it's out here, it's an absolute mess and you can't really do anything neat with it. So what I'm doing, I'm just redoing it with proper harness tape, so that when I can get it in, I can route this up and neatly like in here, rather than, basically it's very tight at the back of the engine, so this will all be redone. I'm like pulling some of the wires out and rerouting them around just to make it packaged nice onto the engine. So
is that what you did the first time on the E92 before you realised they sent you the wrong one?
Yeah, you know, like when it's like in the car, when it's like literally like this, I'd put all these clips into the back of the engine to clip all the harness, keep it all so it doesn't rub on any sharp bits. Absolutely, it was a nightmare to do, but at least it gives the opportunity to redo that and get it all correct.
Yep.
The problem is the fuel pressure, which is that one. The early engines had a 4-wire, and the later ones had a 3. And without that, the car starts, runs, everything, no throttle.
Oh, and the original.
And I've actually seen, I think it was on like Condicket Design, exactly the same problem, and there's another company exactly the same. I think it's been a real problem with, you know, slightly different year engines, because this is a later engine with a higher, the early ones had a low lid.
No, okay.
And that's about the only difference, so, but new loom, ECU, everything to fix it, so quite a problem.
So you're redoing the loom. So this is the GM loom. Where does it plug into the
So basically
Emerald
this
box?
is, because it's a GM crate engine, so it's like what they call a run kit. This is the GM fuse box that comes with it. So it comes fan relays and everything, which we don't use because they're PWM fans, so we control it. But if you put it in like,
what does PWM mean?
pulse width modulation, so you can start the fans really slowly and bring them up to speed and slow down. It's like a variable control rather than just on off. You know, if you're building something like that, a lot of the time you'd put just 2 fans on off. But if you bring one slowly, you can control it really accurately, and it doesn't try and stall the engine stuff. So this is the original GM loom. This is the ECU wiring. What I'm doing, I'm picking a few wires out that we don't use, some of the fuel sensor wires now, and just trying to thin it down as best I can, and then saying instead of having all this, I'm just going to basically work out where it's going and then tape it all into the original position, so you're not trying to fight the wiring all the time and that.
And then when does the Aston wiring go into that?
Well, this is the Aston loom, so that's the Aston engine loom, which goes off into the car and everything everywhere. So that's basically got to come out, and then the ECU sits over in here and a little box up there.
Okay.
So I've got to try and integrate that. I mean, that will pretty much run with about 6 wires. It's actually quite self-contained, but getting running is easy. Making the car work is where the effort comes in. The fans need controlling. There's things like, you know, brake pressure sensors, vacuum sensors, steering sensors, aircon, dash. All of that needs working, which we will do. We get it working on, you know, all the cars really. You know, E92 worked as factory. Yeah.
Great.
I mean, we lost cruise control. You know, a bit of a step too far really. I didn't bother with traction on the BM, but I've spoke to Carl at Emerald this morning. We're actually going to try and put the traction back on it.
Why couldn't you do it on the BM?
It's not we couldn't, I just didn't get around to it, and I didn't really bother. But this is going to have a bit more power, a little bit shorter gearing, a little bit lighter car and stuff. So I just think, you know, while I'm at this stage, sort of why not? I mean, Carl's very good at, you know, doing the impossible and doing stuff like that, so I'll give him a challenge and he's up for it.
Yeah. So the feedback on this has been pretty good on the good old YouTube comments.
Yeah, I mean, I've not found anybody that doesn't like it really. I mean, you know, I think most people like the cars in general. I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, one of the comments was
his kid camera still.
The problem is, hold this.
No,
you just take it. The problem is, I speak with my hands. So I'm here and I'm trying to control my hand from wafting around.
According to Fraser, it's because you rest it on your belly and
I don't rest it on my belly.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't have a belly. Yeah, other than my apparent lack of knowledge, which is mainly put on the camera.
Yeah.
A man made a video, didn't he?
Yeah, there's one of the Aston specialists. I don't know if it's positive or not really. I think it was okay. A bit. I don't know if he actually watched the video properly, because
maybe not.
He was on about like gearboxes, and I don't think he realised we were actually using the Corvette driveline complete.
A few people have spotted that and said, "Oh, I didn't realise you were using a complete."
Yeah, I mean, we did say, but you know, it's not just a T50. It is a Corvette Z06. You know, so the decent version, complete diff, gearbox, everything. You know, it's like a Corvette.
Why didn't you just buy a Corvette, Craig?
Wow.
As someone said.
Yeah.
Boring.
That'd be easy.
Yeah.
You know, so effectively it is like, you know, it's not a bodged up gear lever, it's the correct gear lever. It's all, you know, that means I can run a proper clutch, I can run a proper diff ratio, I can run, you know, all the stuff is GM basically. And also, another reason for buying this, for not buying a Corvette, is you actually enjoy this? Yeah. I mean, it's not all about driving. I mean, this is, you know, I enjoy doing the work as well, you know. I mean,
and it's good for your business. You're not a Corvette specialist.
No. I mean, I'm not an Aston specialist. I mean, I'm not going out after the Aston work necessarily, but I just fancy something, you know, different, and this is different. Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, if you do have any more questions though, we do enjoy them.
Yeah.
And be nice to Craig, because your mum loves a good comment on YouTube as well, doesn't she?
Absolutely, yeah.
Hi mum.
Very proud.
She is very proud of you. But no, it's great. I think the feedback is great. I mean in general, and most questions are quite sensible. And you know, I mean,
people ask, and you know, it's not all obvious what we do, and some people say, why do you do it this way? And I'm not saying we always do it right. It's just, well, that's the way we've come up with it.
So one of the guys mentioned that you could have used 240 SX headers, didn't he?
I don't get that. I mean, 240 SX one, most of the swap ones for them are LS, which are different. The LT only has one bolt here. The LS has 2 bolts. It's a different pack completely. And most of the GTO ones now are LS, not LT, but they come down and then they come straight back here. It's only the Corvette that come in here, because most cars would have a normal gearbox here.
Yeah.
The exhaust would run like down the side of the gearbox here and here, but because the car is a transaxle design car, the exhaust runs down the centre of the car, right in the middle, which is basically where the gearbox would be. Hence why the Corvette setup works, because it's a transaxle setup, the same as a transaxle car, and they happen to work. Bar a little bit of trimming on here, they fitted very, very well. I mean, I'm not saying other headers wouldn't have fitted. I mean, you can sometimes put real shorty headers. I mean, the original headers off this engine would have fitted. Yeah. But I wanted to, just try and improve.
You could have made your own. You're skilled enough to make your own headers.
I mean, I've made loads of headers over the years, but the time and effort it takes and the cost, you can't do it for what you can buy them for.
No, definitely not. So where are we up to then? You're getting the wiring done.
So wiring will be done next day or so, and then in theory, the supercharger's got to come off then. I want to port the supercharger.
Oh yes.
It's interesting, one of the guys commented that, I mean, what I'm planning to do, he's a good mod. It's difficult because you see some of the big superchargers, they're amazing, and other people say actually the standard one ported works pretty much as well, and a lot of the people say all this power and dynos, but they don't show you genuine before and afters.
Yeah.
Like there's a different lid available. People say, it makes a load of difference. But I actually spoke to one of the guys who sells them, went, makes no difference to power.
What do you mean by the lid?
The lid, this is like the top of the supercharger. When they do, it is just a lid. But
how would that change then?
They do one with you can put nitrous ports into it, and like water injection and stuff like that. But I suppose it's a little bit smoother inside and it makes more power, but he said they don't. Yeah. So there's no point buying stuff for no point. I've got a bigger throttle body coming. I think this is 87mm OE. I've got 102mm throttle body coming. So what you do, you actually port the front of the nose of the supercharger out bigger, and basically just to try and aid flow through the engine. If I can make it breathe better. I don't want to go into the engine, start putting cams and stuff in if I can help it. I was going to run the original airbox setup with that on it. Yeah. But I've actually decided I can put a really big charge cooler in there, which cools the supercharger, which I think is more important. And then I can run the air filter down the side here.
Did you have an intercooler on the?
A charge on the BM, yes. Yeah. But then I can get like half the size again, bigger one on this. Then I'm going to run quite a big reservoir, as in the water. For the it runs like a separate system. So I'm going to run. I've got space to put a really big tank across here. Oh, okay. To run the charge, so I can get quite a lot of volume.
Temps are really important for supercharged setups, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, again, it's adding a bit more weight because it's more water and that.
So it's not a track car, it's road car.
I'm not that bothered really. I prefer it to run cool and run efficiently. So that's the plan.
So I guess get it back in, get all your chargers and cooling set up.
Get the engine ported, get it done, all the wiring back on. Then that hopefully can go back in, and then I can start putting all the suspension back on and new wheels, hopefully.
New wheels.
I think I've picked the wheel, so
I hope so.
Yeah.
And then get it mapped, I guess.
Yeah, get it a bit lower. Then I've got to sort the rest of the wiring into the car.
Exhaust.
I've done the original diff cooler in here. I'm going to use that as a gearbox cooler instead of a diff cooler. Yeah. Just chatting to the guys in the States. I mean, if you look at the size of the diff, it's ginormous. I mean, they are ridiculous. That's why you see Corvettes leaving, like, they'll literally leave the wheels in the air.
And it's finned as well.
It's finned and cooled anyway. And he said, unless you're doing long, 2 hour, like plus track sessions, that you don't need a cooler. No. And the cooler would would actually come out the bottom, which would be low, or I'd have to start drilling the case, and there's no point.
Yeah.
But I prefer to cool the gearbox, so all this pipe work's done, run, ready for the gearbox coolers. That's all plumbed, that's got to be connected up.
Cool.
All the mounts are done, drive shafts I've got to look at.
Yeah, we saw those in the last
I've got a
one,
plan, yeah, for that. So, and then exhaust, whether I use original box, I don't know. It's not ideally big enough bore, but
it's a big old unit, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It's got, there's 2 pipes. You've got like a bypass valve up in here for noise thing. So it's sort of handy that I could still use that, and I can control that with the ECU. I can have it opening and shutting on throttle off or tight, whatever I want. But it's only 2.5 inch, and I think 2 inch or inch and 3/8. I don't know. So whether I hook up to that and try it and put a pressure gauge in it and see if it's actually making, you know, you can test the pressure and see if it's actually making restriction, or just drop it off and do a run without it.
Yeah.
Or I might just take it off altogether and make my own.
Yeah.
Which will probably is what I'll do. I might just make it fixed and just have it one, you know.
Keep these tailpipes all.
These are only finishers.
Oh.
They're actually part of the body.
Oh.
It's just like a pipe, so that's
loads of
fine.
modern cars are like that now, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of it's, particularly if you crash and hit that, you replace the thing, you don't have to replace the exhaust, which is one of the reasons it's for cost.
Okay.
And they line up, trying to like line up tips with exhaust movement is pain, but if it just bolts in and it always lines up.
Yeah.
So that works.
But that's exciting, so lots to do then. I guess next we'll probably come watch you do the supercharger and...
Yeah, I'll get the
that side of
supercharger
it.
off, and then probably do a bit of cleaning, a bit more sound deadening. I've put a load of sound deadening just along the tunnel here,
Oh yeah.
just to sort of try and, it just helps. There's some original stuff, it just helps with a bit of the echoing and stuff. And I've made that's the original where the gear lever cables come through into the car. So I've just replicated that with a plate with a nice gear lever gate to seal it, 'cause it's really important to seal that into
A lot of
the car.
noise comes through that.
It's incredible how much noise. The amount of people that just have like gators torn, that the noise is
I don't know one,
ridiculous.
and I think that's where a lot of my noise comes
And
from.
fumes and everything. I hate it. So that's quite important to get like a new, you know, a decent seal. So yeah,
Fun.
till next time.
Goodbye.
At Driftworks, we've helped over 50,000 happy customers since 2004. Our huge online parts store is simple to use, with superb shipping rates to anywhere in the world, and finance options available for UK customers. We live and breathe wheel fitment, so if you have any questions about your own car or any of our products before placing an order, please drop us an email at shop@driftworks.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.